St. Paul of Thebes. St. Paul the Hermit, also known as Paul of Thebes, is regarded as one of the earliest Christian hermits and ascetics, whose life is shrouded in legend and hagiography. Born in the 3rd century, St. Paul's story is primarily associated with his profound commitment to a life of solitude, prayer, and asceticism. St. Paul was born in the Egyptian region of Thebes around the year 227 AD. His wealthy parents died when he was only 15 years old, leaving him a substantial inheritance. Instead of embracing a life of luxury and privilege, Paul chose a different path, driven by a deep spiritual calling. Faced with the tumultuous times of the Decian persecution, during which Christians were targeted, Paul sought refuge in the desert to live a life of contemplation and devotion to God. Around 250 AD, Paul retreated to the desert near the Red Sea, seeking solitude to deepen his spiritual connection and escape the chaos of the world. The desert, with its harsh conditions, became the backdrop for Paul's ascetic journey. Legend has it that he found a cave, where he lived in seclusion for nearly 90 years. The cave, according to some accounts, was miraculously supplied with water by a nearby spring and nourished by a palm tree that yielded dates for sustenance. In the solitude of the desert, Paul engaged in intense prayer, fasting, and contemplation. The harsh conditions of the desert served as a crucible for his spiritual purification. The story of St. Paul's encounter with a raven that brought him half a loaf of bread daily has become one of the most famous episodes in his life, symbolizing divine providence in the midst of isolation. Despite his solitary lifestyle, Paul's fame as a holy man spread, attracting other seekers of the divine. According to hagiographical accounts, Saint Anthony the Great, another renowned desert father, sought out Paul for guidance. The meeting of these two ascetic figures is a significant event in Christian hagiography, symbolizing the passing of spiritual wisdom from one generation to the next. St. Paul is also said to have encountered a lion in the desert. The lion, traditionally portrayed as gentle and submissive in his presence, became a symbol of the harmonious relationship between the ascetic and the wild, reflecting the notion of a paradisiacal return to the peaceful coexistence of Eden. Throughout his life, St. Paul shared his spiritual insights with those who sought his guidance. His teachings emphasized the virtues of humility, detachment from worldly possessions, and the importance of prayer in fostering a deep connection with God. His austere lifestyle served as a powerful example of the transformative potential of a dedicated pursuit of God. St. Paul the Hermit is believed to have died around the age of 113, having spent the majority of his life in the desert. His death marked the end of an era and the beginning of a legacy that profoundly influenced the development of Christian monasticism. Saint Anthony, who survived Paul, continued to spread the ascetic ideals learned from his mentor, further shaping the monastic tradition. The life of St. Paul the Hermit has been immortalized in Christian hagiography, inspiring countless believers to pursue lives of solitude, prayer, and asceticism. His story became a cornerstone in the formation of the Desert Fathers and Mothers, a group of early Christian ascetics who sought spiritual growth in the harsh environments of the Egyptian desert. St. Paul's life and teachings have left an indelible mark on Christian spirituality. His example influenced the development of monastic communities, laying the groundwork for the monastic movement that would flourish in the centuries to come. The principles of asceticism, self-discipline, and contemplative prayer that he exemplified became integral to the Christian understanding of holiness. Artistic representations of St. Paul often depict him in the wilderness, with a long white beard and tattered clothing, symbolizing his renunciation of worldly comforts. These images serve as visual reminders of the ascetic ideal and the transformative power of a life dedicated to prayer and solitude. St. Paul the Hermit's life, while veiled in legend and hagiography, stands as a testament to the enduring human quest for spiritual connection and enlightenment. His choice to forsake worldly wealth and comfort in favor of a life of solitude in the desert reflects a profound commitment to the pursuit of God. Through his asceticism and teachings, Paul contributed significantly to the development of Christian monasticism, influencing generations of believers to follow in his footsteps. His legacy continues to resonate in Christian spirituality, inspiring individuals to seek a deeper understanding of the divine through prayer, humility, and detachment from worldly distractions.